the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday night KNN series action as we see the two going around on the front stretch. Been a lot of drivers out there struggling tonight at this infamous paperclip Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. There you see it count down to the green flag drop of qualifying, about 8.5 minutes away. Do want to first and foremost apologize for the voice. big wrestling tournament, the North Carolina State Wrestling Championship, girls and boys, junior high, elementary, all there, putting on one heck of a show. And as a coach and as a dad, you know, I was out there screaming and yelling a little bit too much. But we did have a lot of great showings out there on the mat. So hats off to all the wrestlers that were there this weekend in Concord, North Carolina for the USA Wrestling State Championships. Speaking of championships, these drivers working on the 9th race of the season. And your points look a little something like this coming into tonight's race. Dale Osmond sitting on top of the leaderboard ahead of Chris Berg by 36 points. Gordon Larson Jr. right there in third. Cole Day still in fourth. Troy Radford fifth. And man, it's a pretty close battle for the drivers on back from that point on. So look for the points battle to slowly start to heat up between all of the drivers out there. While we've got some time here in a happy hour, we're going to take a look around the track really quick. See how all of these drivers are shaking down right now. Looks like on top of the board, the 49 of Troy Radford. And we're going to see if we can't get in a word or two with tonight's sponsor for the race, Ricky Harden. Down there, man, how you doing, bro?
Good. Hope you are and everybody else as well.
Yes, sir. Glad to be on track. Tricky track, this paperclip. If you would, just give me a little bit of insight on why you chose this race, why you wanted Sweet Southern Mess to sponsor the Drive for Cure 200 here today.
Well, Sweet Southern Mess is mine and my wife's boutique, you know. Just trying to live the American dream, but, you know, save the tatas. My mom's been through breast cancer twice. I know some people that have dealt with it. It's a pretty nasty disease, and just felt right, and I like Martinsville. It's not really, you know, I live in North Carolina. Charlotte's my home track, but Martinsville's probably, I've been there more times than anywhere. I love it, and it means a lot to me, so it just kind of all fit together.
All right, man. man. Well, if you would now, give us a little bit of insight how this K&N car is handling out there on track. I've seen it looks like a lot of drivers are kind of struggling with the handle of the cars. How are you doing in that 2 machine?
Well, I think I put up the fifth quickest lap. Not real sure how I done it. I was talking to some of my teammates about it. It didn't feel that great, but it's definitely slick, man. The car starts off real slick. It gets a little better as you get some heat in the tires, and then it just kind of goes away again after a while, and it's just very loose in, loose off. It's going to be a lot about throttle control and maybe saving some tires here. Just have something at the end.
All right, my man. Well, we'll let you get back to it. I'm sure your crew chief is wanting you to try to shake down the car one last time or two before we head off into qualifying. So, Ricky, man, good luck. Thanks for sponsoring tonight's race. And would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous? Love to use anything like that.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody at RFC and NextGen for putting together such a great league. They do an awesome job. Turn 3 Racing Network for broadcasting it. Y'all do a great job as well. And thank my wife for sponsoring the race, and just want everybody to have fun.
All right, man. Well, good luck, elbows up, and hopefully we can talk to you a little bit later tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That was the driver of the 2 machine moving out onto the racing surface now. And wouldn't you know it, for the first little minute there, I had my microphone turned off. So let me restart by saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again here for our K&N action tonight. The RFC NextGen K&N Series. It's the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. Do want to apologize about the voice. Yesterday, we had the USA Wrestling North Carolina State Championship Tournament down in Concord, North Carolina. So I was down there being dad and coach and screaming and yelling. A lot of young ladies there in North Carolina girls wrestling, growing rapidly. Shout out to all the girls that competed yesterday: Eva Glennon, Cheyenne, Ariana, Gracie. I mean, there's so many of them. Y'all did such a great job. Hats off to all the Haywood Elite guys, the WNC Elite guys. Great showing down there at the State Wrestling Championship Tournament as well. Speaking of championship, we're going to throw those points back up for you one more time coming into tonight's race. There you see it again. Dale Osmond sitting on top of the leaderboard, 36 points in front of Chris Berg, Gordon Larson Jr. in third, Cole Day in fourth, and Troy Radford rounds out your top 5 on the points as they stand. And there you see off in the background, or you hear, I should say, a little bit of chaos and carnage. These drivers going to have to get in there and get that fixed up before we get set to go into our qualifying session here tonight for the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. And man, this is going to be, well, let's just be honest about it. It is going to be a very long night for these drivers. Martinsville is not such an easy track. Barely even a half a mile. Not technically not. It's 0.49, but this track is just, it's a beast. It truly is. It's a mess, man. That's all I got to say about Martinsville. I enjoy watching the racing. I do not enjoy being part of the racing. It is such a hard thing to lay the power down on corner exit when you need to. So we'll see how many other drivers out there are struggling. About a minute left to go here in qualifying. Looking at the board, looks like Troy Radford and his 49 machine still on top of the leaderboard. Katie Osmond right there in second. Ricky Hart and Chris Mefford Jeff Hollingsworth round out your top 5. Kendall Levron in 6th. 7th, Gordon Larson Jr. 8th, Cole Day. Brian Mescal Jr. 9th, Eric Blount in 10th. 11th, Cody Terry. Roy Hyde in his 00 in the 12th position on the speed charts. Tyler Hilton, 82. Brandon Metford in the 14th spot right now. Damon Cox rounding out your top 15 here in Happy Hour as we get ready to close this thing on out and switch on over to our qualifying session. So, my goodness. Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready. This could be dangerous. Ooh, final section of the yeah, okay. If there was a pause, rewind, clip it out, snip it right now, I definitely would be pulling that one off. Qualifying has begun. Green flag is being shown. These drivers allowed to hit the track when they are ready. Looks like the 22 of Cody Terry has gotten out on track, so we'll jump out there with Cody as he makes his way around this half-a-mile track. 10 minutes of qualifying scheduled here before tonight's Drive for the Cure 200 at Martinsville Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Cody Terry coming around to take his first timed lap of tonight's race. Cody only able to get a third position as of right now. Looking for anybody else heading out on track. Looks like Katie Osmond in his 88 machine has hit the track. Jeff Hollingsworth in the 42 sitting on top of your pole right now. So heck of a job by Hollingsworth and his 42 team to come out here and snatch the provisional pole as they run right now. Kendall Levron in his 8 machine right there in second. Eric Blount in the 6 is in third. Kenneth coming across the line, finishing his time. He's going to jump on out the car. Let's see who else is on track. Looks like Troy Radford has begun his qualifying laps here tonight. Looks like Ricky Harden and Cole Day have got to their machines, haven't went out on track just yet. As Troy Radford slowing his car down, we'll take a look down pit road, see if we have anybody going. Looks like Tyler Hilton now getting his car underway, getting going. Your qualifying order so far looks a little something like this. Over to your left-hand side, only 8 cars laying down a lap so far, and it looks like Hilton trying to warm them tires up pretty heavily. Now launching off the corner, starting his timed lap. Looks like Cole Day in the 37 also beginning his timed laps. Tyler only good enough for the 8th position as of right now. Where will Cole Day shake out? Tyler on his second timed lap. Doug Wasaki in his 45 machine has hit the racing surface as well. Just over 6.5 minutes left to go. Excuse me, sorry. Just over 6.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying for the Drive for the Cure 200. We'll jump on board now with the 45 of Doug Wasaki as he tries to lay down the fast lap. Cole Day close, but no cigar. Nobody having anything for the 49 of Troy Radford sitting on top of that provisional pole. Looks like Alan Westman has made his way to his Chevy Impala, but will he put a lap down? Doug only good enough for 11th that time by. Where will he shake out? Looks like the 5 of Brandon Hartwell beginning his up-to-speed laps. We'll jump back here with Brandon, see what he can get out of his Chevy Impala coming around. I believe that is turn 3 and 4. Oh, little loose on the exit there. That is going to hurt. Brandon Hartwell struggling on that first-time lap, only good enough for the 10th position. Not going to improve that time. We'll look to see if anybody else is on track. Nobody else ready to go just yet. But Ricky Harden, as well as this 17 on screen of Alan Westman, sitting on pit road, just kind of waiting to go. And with 4.5 minutes left, I don't know if we're going to have too many more drivers qualify. We have had 12 timed laps on the board. We'll just have to wait and see if anybody else decides to go out or if that is going to do it for qualifying here at Martinsville Speedway tonight for the Drive for the Cure 200 presented by Sweet Southern Miss. Here on Turn 3 Racing Network, you are watching the RFC NextGen K&N Series. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Stepped away for a quick commercial break. Looking like everything's staying the same down there on track. No drivers making an attempt at dethroning that fast 49 of Troy Radford. Looks like he's going to walk away with tonight's pole position. So we will get things set and ready to throw it down a track side for the singing of our national anthem. Please join me in celebrating our great nation's anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Man, oh man, if that doesn't get you pumped and ready for some great racing action, I don't know what will. Field has been set. Row number 1, pole position, the 49 of Troy Radford, followed closely by the 37 of Cole Day. Row number 2, the 42 of Jeff Hollingsworth, and the 8 of Kendall Levron. Row number 3, the 6 of Eric Blount, and the 22 of Cody Terry. Row number 4, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr., and the 88 of Kenneth Dale Osborne. Row number 5, the 82 of Tyler Hilton, and the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Row number 6, the 33 of Brian Maskill Jr., and the 45 of Douglas Wasaki. Row number 7, the 00 of Roy Hyde, and the 17 of Alan Westman. Row number 8, the 16 of Damon Cox, and the 08 of David Smith Jr. Row number 9, the 72 of Anders Lambert, and the 76 of Chuck Mobley. Row number 10, the 2 of Ricky Harden, and the 84 of Chris Mefford. Row number 11, the 71 of Jason Edmonston, and the 77 of Lance Yancey. Row number 12, the 44 of Adam Novak, and the 20 of Brandon Medford. Row 13, Michael Massengill and Ray Radford in the 47. That's going to be your field for today's race. Pace car is off. We are set to go. Green flag racing. And the flag flies and we are off here at Martinsville Speedway. Troy Radford with a good jump, good roll at the start. Everything looking pretty clear as of right now. We'll jump to... Man, look at all those cars on track right now. Stunning to see this many drivers out there. Everything free and clear so far. Radford with it in hand with a 0.3 of a second lead. Close quarters back through the field, just a little bit further behind your race leader. We'll now take a look from our center field camera here. Try to get you a little bit more of the action on screen so you can see what's happening out there with everybody. Whole field really beginning to look pretty calm and collective. Back further in the field here you see a lot of drivers nose to tail. Eric Blount in the 6, Gordon Larson Jr., Tyler Hilton, Cody Terry, Brian Muskill Jr., KD. He's right there in his 88 machine. That is all the way back to the 10th position. I don't want to say no real battles because everybody is really close within striking distance. You blow your braking zone and it could spell disaster. Nothing really changing up at the front. Troy Radford still has the lead of tonight's race. We are 5 laps into this 200 lap race here at Martinsville Speedway. Your pole sitter Troy Radford has led since the drop of the green flag. Further through the field, we can find the 45 of Doug Wasaki running just in front of that 16 of Damon Cox. Looks like everybody's still free and clear, and caution is out. Jason Edmonston, believe, involved in this, so we'll take just a quick look back on our turn 3 replay here. Let's see if we can't get it in here. Everything looking all right for Edmonston as of right now. Goes down into turn 3. Looks like he gasses it up here and just loops it. Oh, and another car just behind him also involved in a spin. So multiple cars here involved. We'll take a look, see if we can't get a number on that one. Can't really get it. Ooh, another car may have been involved. There you see Roy Hyde going by. Field catching back up with the pace car. Your race leader still Troy Radford. Interesting to see if anybody comes down pit road, and we do have some takers. Alan Westman, the first car onto pit road. That's going to drop him back to around the 17th position on track. Multiple other drivers also coming down pit road. The 77 of Lance Yancey, Chuck Mobley, Michael Massengill also on pit road. Jason Edmonston being caught up in that spin, scored 1 lap down. You do have 1 car already out of this race. Ray Radford in the 47 machine unable to continue. Finds himself being scored 8 laps down. So tough break for that 47 crew out there tonight. And tell you what, while it's early here under caution, let's see if we can't get in a quick word or two with your pole sitter and race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford. Let's see if we can't dial him up here real quick. Hey Troy, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, bud?
Nothing much. Trying to hope my voice lasts through this thing here tonight. But first of all, congratulations on another pole here in the K&N Series. How's the car feel? How's it going?
That's pretty good. I'm going to have to be real quick. We got a 2 to go here. But, car feels real good. Martinsville's a good track for me. It's all about rhythm, finding that rhythm. So, luckily I laid it down in qualifying. So hopefully I can just continue that luck and, be smooth.
All right, bud. Well, I know you're getting ready to get the 1 to go, so your crew chief's going to be yelling at you. You want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that before we get going back green?
Mainly to everybody out here coming out. Of course, you got Ricky Hart and the Sweet Southern Mess sponsoring tonight's race. So absolutely thrilled to have them on board, and always like having a Ricky on the show.
All right, well, there you have it. That was the driver of that 49 machine. There you see him right there inside row, your pole sitter. Can Radford get the job done once again? Pace car will make that left-hand turn. We will get this thing fired back off here on turn 3 Racing Network. Field in the hands of the 49 in the restart box. He takes off fast. Very early in that restart box. Gets a great jump over the 37 of Cold Day. Everything good. Oh, car going sideways there. I believe everything's okay. My goodness, I don't know how they made it through that. There you see, that was the 6 of Eric Blount just in front of this just massive blob of cars. The 82 of Tyler Hilton, KD Osmond. There you see Osmond and Hilton fighting for position. Caution is out in the rear of the pack. Looks like, There you see Damon Cox, Brandon Hartwell both caught up in this one, so we'll see what happened here on the turn 3 replay. Oh, and it looks like contact between Alan Westman and the 45 kind of started that whole mess. We'll take one more look at it here. We'll back it up just a little bit further, see if we can't see what happens. There's the contact with the 6 be coming down the back stretch. We'll look at it this time right here. Yeah, just a little bit of contact there by Westman, and that wadded up about 4 or 5 cars. So when something happens here, it's almost just like Talladega, Daytona. You may not have anywhere to go, so you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled and on the field in front of you the entire time out here tonight. Working around the track under caution once again here at Martinsville Speedway. 17 laps in the books out of the scheduled 200 here tonight for the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Miss here tonight on Turn 3 Racing Network. And just drivers having a little bit of trouble. It seems, it appears, with getting the power down, getting those braking points at the sweet spot, if you will. But man, oh man, it's gonna be a tough night for a lot of these drivers out there. And I tell you what, we're gonna go now. Let's go on board with Cole Day starting in that outside lane. Let's jump on board with him for this restart here. What do you say? There you see Troy Radford off to a good start just in front of Cole. Oh, a little bit of a tap. Cole gets it straightened back up. Oh my goodness. Let's go out, see what's unfolding. Cole Day, oh my goodness, under fire right now. A lot of cars all over each other. We're still too wide for the top. Let's see, from about second back to 10th almost. Driver up in the foreground. Oh, more contact. My goodness, these drivers are all over each other, leaning all over each other. Kendall Levron with a big time moment. More drivers in the rear of the field, just in front of Ricky Harden. 3 wide off of turn 4. I don't know how these drivers are making that happen. That is, my goodness, there's chaos everywhere right now. Drivers can't seem to get out of their own way. And my goodness, I do apologize. I'm going to try to keep the voice under control. Looks like the 00 of Roy High trying to come around Ricky Harden, Damon Cox back there. That is around 15th position, 6 seconds behind your race leader, Troy Radford, off to a big jump on the field. 1.4 seconds in front of this field as we are green flag racing here from Martinsville Speedway. And Radford with a little bit of a blip there. Not quite sure what that was all about. Everything still seems to be fine. Jeff Hollingsworth running in the second position has about a 1.2 second lead over the 37 of Cole Day. Eric Blount right there in fourth. Rounding out your top five is Katie Osmond, 0.2 of a second off of Blount for fourth. Looking back through the field, though, we've still got drivers all over each other. You see Damon Cox trying to... Oh, and caution has come out. Looks like Michael Massengill caught up in this latest incident. So we'll take a look real quick, see what it was with our Turn 3 replay. Oh, and there you see contact between himself and another driver. We'll take one more look at this from high up on the blimp. And we're going to have to catch one more at it. Sorry about that. From high above, here you see 76 comes down just a little bit, clips that 3, and around he goes. Alan Westman nowhere to go. 3 drivers just like that caught up and involved once again here at Martinsville Speedway. We'll jump out there with our center cam looking across the track. Looks like Douglas Wasaki has decided to stay out on track, as well as the 44 of Adam Novak. So those 2 drivers, oh no, Adam choosing to come down pit road this time by. So that's going to put the field in the hands of the 45 of Douglas Wasaki. He will take over the race lead. And this is a tricky pit road. Drivers can easily be put down a lap using the wrong pit road strategy. So possibly the 45 trying to trap a few drivers one lap down. There you see a few of them having to yield the position and get behind that 45. So this is going to shake up a big portion of the field. Only 18 cars left on the lead lap. There you see Brandon Hartwell just in front of Doug. He's going to receive the wave around when we get 1 to go. And now Douglas Wasaki going to have to deal with a fast Troy Radford to his outside. Jeff Hollingsworth in the 42 will line up inside row number 2, outside row number 2 for the restart. The 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. And back in 5th, Eric Blount and Katie Osmond in that 88 Sundrop machine. He will start row 3 on the outside. And Miss Linda, I concur. I don't think we've got that bad just yet, you know, and not. Oh, that sounded horrible. We seen the big boys do it today. I mean, it happens. Martinsville is a very, very tricky track. Literally, if you miss your braking point by a foot, it can be disastrous. If you miss your on throttle point by a foot, it can be disastrous. I mean, it is a very, very tricky track. Concrete corners, asphalt front and back stretch. So it's a transition to under braking. So a very tricky track. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing once again. And Douglas Wasaki hits the gas and we're back. Racing at Martinsville Speedway tonight for the Drive for the Cure. And Douglas Wasaki very slow on that restart. holding up some of the field. It looks like Jeff Hollingsworth now looking to the inside. Gordon Larson gonna try to follow through. Drivers on the brakes hard. Behind them, Katie Osmond on the gas, squirrely coming off of the corner. Eric Blount right there in front of him. Brian Mescal Jr. into 33 trying to make it work on the outside. He's now going to get boxed in by the 45 of Wasaki and the 6 of Blount down there on the inside. Can he make that outside lane work off of these tight corners? Gaining some momentum now, not able to clear down the front stretch down into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side is Mescal and Blount. Oh, and Brian Mescal Jr., my goodness. Oh my goodness, that has caught a lot of cars up. Wow, that was crazy. We'll take a look back one more time on that as well. Just looks like he got loose, took it into the wall, but that caught up Katie Osmond, the 8 of Kendall Levron. Looks like Roy Hyde and the 00 caught up. A lot of drivers trying to get by. Roy can't get the car turned. My goodness, that spelled disaster for a lot of drivers. Brian Mescal Jr. now on pit road. He is going to be thrashing away at that Chevy Impala. Tough break for him and his crew out there tonight. But it looks like our race leader, Troy Radford, doing what he's got to do to come up through the points, sitting in the 5th position in your point standings right now. So Troy trying to get the job done, leading the most laps so far out there tonight. 30 now, make it 31 laps of the 37 laps that have been laid down. And that was a big one, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think you can have big ones at a short track, you don't pay attention to Bristol very often, do you? Short track racing can be horrendous because there's just nowhere to go. If something happens, there's just nowhere to go. It's so hard to avoid things when they do happen. I mean, sure, there's 3 lanes, but you are not pulling off 3 wide racing at a place like Martinsville, nor at Bristol. It's a special type of racing. It's a different type of racing. And, I mean, there you've seen it. Track just gets blocked up, and there's nowhere to go for everybody else behind you. So it's a tough time. I mean, it truly is. Gonna start a little bit of house cleaning, as it looks like field is beginning to get a double file. We had 26 drivers take to the grid tonight. We still have 16 on the lead lap. Michael Massengill and his 3 machine being scored. The first car 1 lap down. Pace car is off. Troy Radford gonna bring the field back to the green flag. We'll get this thing set and ready to go. Back on the gas is Radford. Great jump on the field for him. Making his way down into turn 1, no problem. Looks like the field is okay. Everything sorting itself out. Contact. Cody Terry, a little bit of contact with Eric Blount. Looks like Cody with some trouble now. My goodness, Roy Hyde slow. Cody Terry is the one that is around. We'll take a look back at that one, see what happened here with Cody. Just a little touch, and that's all it took. The 82 of Tyler Hilton, and wow, around and around he goes. Where he stops, nobody knows. Let's take a look at that. Let's ride in the cockpit here with that 22. Oh, and that's the sight you don't want to see. Right there. When the sky becomes the floor, that is a bad, bad time. Luckily, no other drivers involved. The 82 of Tyler Hilton, I believe, going to have some minimal damage, but Cody Terry able to drive away, so that was a good sight to see. We will rejoin your race leader, Troy Radford, as he comes around to catch up with the pace car. So we're going to take the opportunity and the chance to step away for just a brief moment. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Back just in time for your restart. Troy Radford gets a good jump. Looks like Eric Blount struggling in turn 1. Radford out to a good lead over the 42 of Jeff Hollingsworth. We are working lap 46 of 200 here tonight for the Drive for the Cure 200 presented by Sweet Southern Mess. Eric Blount struggling now back into the 5th position. We'll take a look back through the field where it looks like we have just got a gaggle of cars. There you see the 8 of Kendall Levron. A lot of drivers down into the corner. There you see the 00 of Roy Hyde. The 16 of Damon Cox right there as well. Lance Yancey in the 77 just out in front of Roy. Kendall Levron battling on the outside. There you see the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Ricky Harden battling now with Chris Medford. Damon Cox, oh my goodness. Lance with some trouble there off of turn 4. He's able to gather it up, get it going in the right direction. Everything's all right as of now. Troy Radford, your race leader, no problems for him back over here. Look at that gap. At least 6 or 7 cars now between himself and his closest challenger, Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01. Jeff Hollingsworth running in 3rd in the 42 machine. Going to work our way back through the field where there's a little bit more going on. Drivers still sorting things out, trying to get into a comfortable spot, comfortable rhythm. Click off a few of these laps. Roy Hyde, there you see him in the background struggling just a little bit to put the power down. And I tell you what, while we've got a chance, let's go ahead and throw down to some of our, well, why not do a little bit of crank it up action? What do you say? I say we should do it. Here we go. man, whoa, if you don't like that, you can go on and get out of here. The 20 of Brandon Meffert with a little bit of trouble there. Getting sideways, coming out of the corner right in front of Kendall Levron. There's the 82 of Tyler Hilton going to the bottom. That is a battle for the 7th position on track. Just in front of them, the 45 of Douglas Wasaki running in 6th. Troy Radford now out to almost a 3-second lead over the field. We do have 16 cars left on the lead lap. Alan Westman in his 17 being scored. The first car 1 lap down. Brian Mescal Jr. has rejoined the racetrack, but he is being shown 9 laps down. That is going to be a tough one to overcome. And there you see the 77 having a little bit of trouble putting the power down, coming out of the corner. That's going to allow the 84 of Chris Meffert to work his way up to his bumper. Ricky Harden just behind them. There you see the 00 of Roy Hyde. And nothing really happening going on up near the front. Everything staying pretty much the same. There you see lap machine of Mike Massengill just kind of getting out of the way. Staying, well, as out of the way as you possibly could. Kendall Levron doing a good job right there just behind the 82 of Tyler Hilton. These two drivers trying to put a show on for the field right now. Levron trying to take the position away as they work their way down into turns 3 and 4. Now back off to the front stretch, trying to close in on Douglas Wasaki. Looking back through the field, looks like we've got a little bit of a battle here between Lance Yancey and Ricky Harden. Ricky getting the position pretty easily there. As we also had a pass, Damon Cox went by. I believe that was the 44 of Adam Novak. Yes, it was that Damon was able to get by. Alan Westman right there in the 17 holding on to the tail end of the field. Everything looking, whoa, the 77, a little bit of trouble there. Everybody gives him some room. He gets it going back the right way. We'll rejoin a battle for what will be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Gordon Larson Jr. has been caught by Jeff Hollingsworth and Cole Day. So here you see Hollingsworth actually passed by Larson Jr. two laps or so ago. And Cole Day has been one of the faster drivers the past few laps out there on track. So the time is closing in for some of these drivers. And a few drivers got to be worried about being put a lap down. Jason Edmonston, Adam Novak being scored 16 seconds or so off of your race leader, Troy Radford. And there you see Cody Terry just off in the distance. About to be put a lap down by the 2nd and 3rd place runners on track. And let's go up and let's see what our leader's dealing with here. Troy Radford, no problem from the lap machine of David Schmidt Jr. He's going to let Radford by, no problems, but there you see more lap traffic up ahead for Radford to deal with, for him to contend with. We are 42 laps on this set of tires for Radford. When will he pit? Looks like we do have some drivers out there with about 20 or so lap fresher tires. So could Tyler Hilton maybe extend the stint as we are working lap 70 out of 200 scheduled for tonight's race here at Martinsville Speedway. You're watching the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And I tell you what, we're going to go and do a little bit of driver in-race stats. There you see right there, Radford pretty much hasn't went anywhere the whole race. Started on first, currently in first, only fell to second position for a brief moment. So Radford, I mean, what more could you want out of it? Let's look back here at Cole Day now. He started in the second position, fell all the way back to 16th, but has driven his way back up to the fourth spot. We'll now go a little further in the field. Let's take a look back here. Let's take a look at the 8th race so far here tonight. Started in 4th, fell to 16th as well. Now back up into the 9th position. Back here with the 00 of Roy Hyde. Started 13th, running in 14th right now. So Roy not having the best of nights out here at Martinsville so far, but maybe things will look up and go a little different. Looks like we've got one driver very slow. That is the 45, I apologize, of Doug Wasaki. He must have had a little bit of an issue. We'll wait. Well, we'll just keep it live. I was going to go look, see if we could see it, but we'll just keep things rolling the way they are. Looks like Roy Hyde trying to be pretty careful with Wasaki right now. Alan Westman just up in front of those drivers. And there you see your race leader. That is how close he is to putting the likes of Roy Hyde and Douglas Wasaki one lap down. Less than a corner separate the tail end of the lead lap and your race leader, as Jeff Hollingsworth has been able to make his way back by Gordon Larson Jr. into that second position. There you see him, and that is the distance between himself and your race leader. About the same distance back to a car as it is to the car on the last car on the lead lap right now for your race leader, Troy Radford. So he is getting the job done for sure. Laps are beginning to click away. 123 laps left to go here for the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. Man, oh man, I tell you what, these race car drivers putting on a show now. Things have settled down, got underway, and we have got some good racing on our hands here. We see Cole Day trying to come up and take the third position away from the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. This is one of your closest battles on the racetrack, so we will stick with this for just a brief moment. Now looks like Eric Blunt and Tyler Hilton, those drivers having a battle as well. We'll join that battle back here as there's a lot of cars around them. Tyler Hilton, Kendall Levron, Ricky Harden, all going around the lap machine of David Schmidt Jr. Lance Yancey, I believe that is as well coming through. Schmidt Jr. doing a good job, just kind of moving out of the way, being scored 2 laps down here, doesn't want to get involved with anybody's race. Still a long race here at Martinsville Speedway. 82 laps in the book out of the 200, 119 left to go. A lot can happen in 120 laps here at this short paper clip, as we have been green flag running for a good 20 to 30 laps at least here. Everybody kind of getting things settled in and underway, and this man right here, Troy Radford, very close to putting the 44 of Adam Novak down 1 lap. And I tell you what, let's go to our turn 3 onboard cam with your race leader, Troy Radford. And that is not the camera, that is it. Just listen to how he's getting off of the corner, nice and easy on the brake. The car just seems to get off of the corner very well. Adam Novak, and caution is out on the racetrack. We'll take a look, see what we can see here. Not seeing, oh my goodness. Cody Terry, there we have it. Cody Terry caught up and involved in this latest race incident. We'll back it up, take a look, see what we see here. Cody Terry now coming off and down into turn 3. Everything looks okay so far for Cody. And just kind of loses it very late exit there. Spins it around backwards. Caution will fly. And we will have pit stops now as Troy Radford brings the field down pit road. Looks like the 76 of Chuck Mobley is going to stay out. He's going to get one of his laps back. Inching close to the halfway point here in tonight's race. We'll wait and see what the race off of pit road looks like. Well, nothing going on that end. Everybody in their pit stall, and Troy Radford down and away. He's going to walk out of there with the race lead pretty easily, in my opinion. Jason Edmonston staying on track. I expect to see Edmonston come down pit road next time by. May just be trying to get a lap led here. So we'll have to wait and see how that all shakes out as Radford trying to make his way back up to the pace car. And yes, indeed, the 71 of Jason Edmonston hitting pit road that time by. So Edmonston was scored as the race leader for 1 lap, and that's all he needs for a point here tonight. So a good strategy from Jason and his crew to steal a point away here tonight. Radford, however, reassumes the race lead, and he has been the dominant force out there tonight. So I tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a quick word with Troy once again. Hey, Troy in the 49, it's Dave. You got me?
I do, Dave. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Not as good as yourself right now. Pretty much dominating this thing right now. 83 laps in the book for you. Coming close to halfway. How do you think this thing's going to play out from here?
Pretty good. Again, I'm going to be pretty quick here because we got 1 to go. But, you know, Jeff's going to be really fast. Jeff's good on the long run. I had a little bit of short run car than him, then we evened out. So hopefully I can get a little bit of space and then, you know, maintain. So, all right, I'll talk to you later, bud.
As green flag is under, well, getting ready to take place. Radford jumping back to his first and foremost job, and that's hitting that loud pedal like he just did. Off he goes down into turn 1 with the lead in hand. Once again, Jeff Hollingsworth right there. Cole Day dealing with Gordon Larson Jr. Chris Medford just behind them. Kendall Levron, Tyler Hilton, Ricky Harden, Lance Yancey, and Damon Cox round out your top 10. Everybody looking like things are sorting themselves out pretty easily, pretty calm. You see some small gaps between some of these drivers. We'll take a look through the field, try to keep our eye as wide as we can to catch all of the racing action out there on track. And caution is out. Jason Edmonston not involved but slow on the track. Cody Terry in pit lane from that last incident. Not quite sure what happened here. Trying to look around, see what I see. And everybody seems to be okay. So I'm not quite sure what I'm not sure what had happened. under caution once again here tonight from Martinsville Speedway. So I tell you what, we're going to take a brief moment once again here to catch our breath over at Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. While we were away, we went back green flag racing, but the caution has come out once again. We will throw it to our Turn 3 replay for your latest race incident. And that was not the right button. My bad. Here you'll see the field coming down to take the green flag. Gordon Larson Jr. caught up in this latest race incident. Here we go. You'll see it for the first time. Field got going. Troy Radford out to a good start. Gordon Larson Jr. looking fine on that outside in that DuPont Chevy Impala. Everything looking fine so far. And oh, that wasn't Gordon Larson Jr. Actually, that may have been not Lance Yancey either. That was not Gordon Larson Jr. My apologies to him and his crew. It was a paint scheme very, very similar. I do apologize. We'll get back up front with your race leader, Troy Radford, as he brings the field back up to the tail end of that pace car. As we're under caution once again, lap 103 of 200. We have surpassed the halfway point, and that flagman is getting a workout tonight. 8 cautions so far for 36 laps, with 4 lead changes only 3 different race leaders out here tonight. So being very stingy with that race lead is the 49 of Troy Radford, still leading. Jeff Hollingsworth, Cole Day, Gordon Larson Jr., and Chris Medford rounds out your top 5. Rest of your running order looks a little something like that. You'll see it over there. And I wonder why Cole's name just doesn't want to show up. That is a very interesting anomaly. I like that word. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go back green flag racing once again here from Martinsville Speedway for race number 9 in the RFC NextGen K&N Series. It's the Drive for the Cure 200 presented by Sweet Southern Mess. Pace car has hit pit road. Field in the hands of your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford. Brings him to the restart box, nails the gas, and off we go. Once again, green flag flies. Jeff Hollingsworth making the move to the bottom lane from the outside. Radford well in clear. Cole Day in the 37 right there in the 3rd position, hoping that Hollingsworth makes a mistake. And Radford gasses it up and around. Radford goes. Caution flies. You seen it right there. You seen what happened to Radford. So we'll back it up one more time. Take a look at this. And from the cockpit of your race leader, let's see what happened here. There you hear him just on the gas a little bit early. Around it goes. No contact made. So that is that's a good thing. He gets it all corrected coming down pit road. Now your field back under caution. Once again, race leader Jeff Hollingsworth. We have got quite a few beat-up cars out there on track tonight. Let's run through your top 5 as they run now under this latest caution. Jeff Hollingsworth sitting in 1st, Cole Day in 2nd, Gordon Larson Jr. 3rd, Chris Medford in 4th, Tyler Hilton, the 82, rounds out that top 5. Damon Cox sitting in the 7th position. Tonight's race sponsor, the 2 of Ricky Harden, surviving like he alluded to, running in the 6th position right now. Doug Wasaki in the 45 sitting in 8th. Eric Blunt in 9th. 10th is David Smith Jr. Alan Westman in 11th. Roy Hyde 12th. Troy Radford all the way back in the back of the field, now sitting in 13th position. We have gotten the 2 to go here from Martinsville Speedway. And there is a lot of cars packed up here tonight. Lance Yancey in the 77, Cody Terry and his 22 crew, they have left the racing track. Brandon Hartwell, Kenneth Osmond, Andreas Lambert, and Ray Radford all packed up in the haulers as well. But we're here to watch the drivers that aren't in their haulers just yet. These are the men at the front of the field. Jeff Hollingsworth will restart on the inside lane. A little bit of damage to that rear end. That spoiler caved in just a little bit right there in the center. Gordon Larson Jr. gonna line up in second. Chris Medford will line up in fourth. Pace car off. Restart box. Back green flag racing once again. Jeff Hollingsworth with a great jump on the field. Gordon Larson Jr. coming into the corner a little bit hot there. Gets it woed up. Everything fine. Your top 2 have squeezed a little bit of a gap out of this thing. And here you see on the outside, ooh, very, very close racing between Chris Medford and Gordon Larson Jr. for that third position. There you see Ricky Harden right there waiting to pounce in that fifth spot. He took that away from Tyler Hilton. Looking to the inside still is Gordon Larson Jr. Not able to get the job done just yet. Very close on exit between these two drivers. Coming back through the field, Troy Radford not having the best of luck so far. He is mired back in some heavy, heavy traffic. This battle for third still raging on as they work their way off of turn 4. Gordon Larson Jr. prevailing now on that inside lane. But can Chris Medford get a good enough run? No. Position is going to be had by Larson Jr. Not close enough for the crossover. They go into 3 and 4, put Larson Jr. to that third spot. Oh, trouble off of 4, and that's going to open the door back up for Medford. Looks like Ricky Harden, he's going to put his nose there. He's going to try to take that spot away from Gordon Larson Jr. Now stuck on the outside. Tyler Hilton coming through, working his way into the top 5. There you see Damon Cox in the 16 machine, trying to make a run at it as well. The 6 of Eric Blount right there. And oh my goodness, there is a 6-second gap back to from first to Doug Wasaki running in the 9th position. Troy Radford has been able to break back into the top 10. But oh, there is a car around, and it looks like that's Doug Wasaki involved in this latest race incident, so we'll take a look at that as well here with our turn 3 replay. Coming off of turn 2, everything looks all right. Looks like the 20 drives down in there, no problem. Troy Radford trying to work his way through. Little bit of contact to that bumper by Radford, and that sends Doug Wasaki around. We'll take one more look at that from the blimp. Just looked like a little bit of contact there, and that's all it took. That 45 went right around. There you see Radford bearing down very, very fast. Right on the corner exit. There it is. That little bit of contact's all it took. Alan Westman with a little bit of a hit as well. We will rejoin the field. Doug Wasaki limping his way down pit road. Cole Day has assumed the race lead by staying out. 32 laps on this fuel run so far for Cole. So he's electing to stay out, maybe to lead a lap here tonight. We have had 5 different race leaders now since Troy Radford was involved in a self-inflicted spin, I guess you could call it, self-inflicted. On the gas just a little bit too soon, and around he went. Field gonna get shaken up just a little bit. Drivers getting themselves some laps back. We still have a lot of cars out there running. Still 20 out of 26 cars still running on the track as we speak. Brian Maskell Jr. has been just thrashing away on his car multiple times. Now being scored 57 laps down, running in the 22nd position. And I think Brian's just trying to fix what he can, get out there, run a few, fix it up a little more, run a few, and just try to soldier on, try to fight and claw some points out of tonight's race. As we are coming around to take lap 122. I'm going to take lap 123. I apologize. Sometimes my eyeballs don't work. Y'all know my mouth doesn't work half the time, and I can't talk either, so yeah. Yeah, you know how it is. Pace car lights off. Once again, your race leader now, that 37 of Cole Day. He will have control of this thing. A little bit of left front damage on that 37 machine. He'll hit the restart box, and away we go. Chris Medford, a little bit of a jump. That's going to hurt him on this restart. He's going to fall back behind Jeff Hollingsworth. And Cole Day up the track. Hollingsworth by and clear to the point. Chris Medford now digging on the inside, and Cole Day has got some problems. He has got big time problems. Falling deep into the field now is Cole Day from the point all the way back to the 7th position. Not sure staying out on those old tires was the way to go, as he has found himself in danger and under fire from the 17 of Alan Westman. Up at the front of the field, though, Jeff Hollingsworth has stepped out to right around a 0.3 of a second lead over Chris Medford. Tyler Hilton in third, Ricky Harden in fourth, Gordon Larson Jr. now being shown in fifth, Eric Blount in sixth, and Cole Day, big slip and fall through the field. Caution out here once again at Martinsville Speedway. Looks like David Smith Jr. was involved, so we'll back it up one time. Take a look at this. David Smith Jr. coming down the back stretch into turn 3. Everything seems to be okay. Jason Edmonston fast on. And looks like another self spin there. David Smith Jr. just getting on the gas a little too much, and around he goes. So we'll rejoin your race leader, Jeff Hollingsworth, as he has caught up to the pace car, as we are working caution, I believe, number 10. Caution number 11 here tonight. 7 lead changes in tonight's Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. And we have got a mess of some cars out there on track. There are multiple drivers beating and banging on their machines when they get the opportunity. The only issue here at Martinsville Speedway is you don't get a lot of time before you end up a lap down. So drivers taking multiple pit stops trying to get their machines fixed up. Just an example, Adam Novak, running inside the top 10 as of right now, has pitted 11 separate times. Roy Hyde pitting, I believe, the most out of everybody, 13 times on pit road for that 00 and his crew. So they have been doing a lot of work on his machine. Field still under caution here at Martinsville Speedway. We've got 67 laps to go. 68, I apologize, laps left to go here from Martinsville Speedway for the Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go. Green flag racing once again. Field in the hands of your race leader, Jeff Hollingsworth. And he is gone in a way. Great start for him. Tyler Hilton going to have to deal with Chris Medford on the outside. That's not a problem for him. Now Ricky Harden left to try to work his way to the bottom. He's able to do it. Gordon Larson Jr. trying to fight for the position. Damon Cox down into the corner. Very, very late braking there. Eric Blunt with some trouble. He is up the track, and look at that. Troy Radford has driven his way back through the field, now being shown in the 7th position. There you see Cole Day on some fresh tires. He's working his way back through the field as well, just behind the 6 of Eric Blount. And I told you in private, and I'll say it on the air, Jags, you are awesome. Sometimes I don't know what, not just we would do, but what I would do without you. Thank you so, so much. Jeff Hollingsworth not having any issues out front. 0.2 of a second lead over Chris Medford. Running in second, Ricky Harden in third. Tyler Hilton running in fourth. We are watching the battle between Eric Blount and Cole Day. Troy Radford was able to make his way by Blount a few laps ago, and Larson Jr. a little bit of tail action up out of that 0-1 as Damon the Unicorn Cox trying to make his way up inside the top 5 for the first time here tonight from Martinsville Speedway. And that 16 has just quietly been picking him off. And looky here, Cole Day down into turn 3, no problem. Put Cole into the 8th spot. And now Eric Blount's going to have to deal with looky that. I already said looky here, so maybe looky that. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Roy Hyde making his way inside the top 10, running in that 10th and final position. And Damon Cox with a big moment. He gets super loose on exit. He gets it gathered back together, but he's going to allow Troy Radford and Cole Day to get by him. He's going to have to get his composure back, get his rhythm back, as we've got 60 laps left to go. Now make that 59 laps left to go in the Drive for the Cure 200. Roy Hyde closing in on the rear bumper of Eric Blount, working off of turn 2. Roy Hyde's going to look to the inside. And while we're watching all that, a battle has begun for the race lead. Will go up front. These 3 drivers now make it 4 as Tyler Hilton is emerging on scene. Chris Medford digging on the bottom, trying to make it happen. Close in contact. Hollingsworth gets it collected. Caution is out. Looks like we've had a separate incident. Brandon Medford involved, so we'll look at this one, see what happened here. Everything looking all right for Brandon. No issues, no trouble. Oh, and it looks like Damon Cox was also involved in a separate incident. So we'll back up, see what happened to Damon here. That was 3 separate incidents. Damon just a little loose off of the corner. He goes around. Oh, and then the 20 of Brandon Medford goes around. Oh! Oh, that was super close. Super close moment there for Doug Wasaki. He almost ran right in to the back of Damon Cox. Chris Medford will catch up to the pace car. Lucky Dog going around. We're back under caution here at Martinsville Speedway. Working lap 146. out of the 200 scheduled for tonight's race distance. And man, oh man, it has been a night of attrition, of grit, of want. There you seen Damon Cox after the contact with the wall, the self-spin. He gets down on the pit road, bangs away on it for a minute, gets back out on track, stays on the lead lap. We still have 16 cars left on this lead lap. A few drivers on pit road right now. Adam Novak, Jason Edmonston. They will be the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Chuck Mobley, the first car, any laps down, being shown 3 laps down. And these drivers gonna have another tough, challenging track next week. Thompson Speedway coming up next week, 100 laps around that great track. I actually like Thompson. Some people think I'm kind of crazy, which they're probably right, but I like Thompson. So gonna be an interesting short track race once again next week. A little bit bigger of a track, so a little bit different racing style, even though it's still a short track. We've still got 53 laps to go, 52 when we cross the line for our restart. Your race leader, the 84 of Chris Medford, has chose the inside. Ricky Harden in the 2 machines sitting just to his outside. We're back, green flag racing, and Ricky Harden gets a great jump on that restart. Cole Day with a good start as well, but Ricky Harden right there. Oh, and around goes a car in the back. Looks like that's Roy Hyde. That may have been spun right there on this latest restart. Let's take a look back and see what happened. Oh, and Roy just loose in the center of the corner and nowhere to go. A lot of other drivers just nowhere to go out there. And we are under caution once again here tonight from Martinsville Speedway. Well, as things get down to just the 50 lap to go mark, we're going to take just a quick break once again here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Thanks for coming back under green flag conditions here from Martinsville Motor Speedway. Nothing going on. Pretty easy restart there for your top 4 or 5 drivers. Everybody pretty much single file through the field. There you see Chris Medford leading Ricky Harden. Cole Day running in third. Brandon Medford in the 20. Sitting in the 4th spot. Gordon Larson Jr. in 5th. Now Troy Radford back up to the 6th position. So working his way back to the point. Trying to go back up there and lead some more laps. Has almost led half of the racing distance. 99 laps led for that fast 49 of Troy Radford, but he is going to have to deal with a few more cars now. Looking to the inside of Brandon Medford is Troy Radford. He gets the pass done. Tyler Hilton now looking to make that pass as well. So these drivers trying to get the job done late here in the race. Gordon Larson Jr. now under fire from that 49. Just up in front of them, Cole Day starting to heat up that rear end of Ricky Harden as Chris Medford has stepped out to almost a 1-second lead over the field with just 40 laps of racing left to go. Jeff Hollingsworth, look at this, battling back here with Brandon Medford, Eric Blount, Alan Westman, Damon Cox, all right there. David Smith Jr., he's right there still inside your top 12. Closest battle on track right now, though, is Gordon Larson Jr. and Troy Radford. Troy digging on the bottom, moving Larson Jr. to that outside lane, and Tyler Hilton saying, thank you very much. He's going to move his way down and around Gordon Larson Jr. Put Hilton into the top 5. Radford now cracking the top 4, and he is a man on a mission. One of the fastest cars out there on track that last lap. However, Chris Medford still being shown as the fastest man on the track that last lap. So great job by him and his crew. Looking through the timing and scoring, looks like that fastest lap though is going to go to that 49 of Troy Radford with a 20.044. And Chris Medford was right there with a 20.095. So Radford looking at possibly walking away with the most laps led, as Medford's not going to be able to overtake him. Don't think Hollingsworth's going to be able to do it either. So Troy coming out with a very, very good points day. Pole position, most laps led, fastest lap. I mean, the only thing left for him to do, since he was the fastest in happy hour as well, would be win tonight's race. And he is trying to do that. He is about 0.7 of a second off of Cole Day and closing in fast, watching the 42 of Jeff Hollingsworth try to close the distance and gap to Gordon Larson Jr. Gonna look a little bit further back through the field, see what we see going on back here with Eric Blount and Alan Westman. That battle not too much of a heated discussion just yet, and Eric on the gas a little early, gets a little tail happy coming out of 2. Oh, close moment there for Hollingsworth and Larson Jr. Almost a little bit of a curb hop here. Oh, and it looks like Doug Wasaki blowing up, gonna pull it off the track right in front of a few of the lead lap cars. Down and away safely behind the wall. We stay under green flag conditions, and Ricky Harden has fell a little further behind the 8 ball. Chris Medford now out to a 1.1 second lead. And Troy Radford, man, I tell you what, he is a man on a mission right now. He has caught up to Cole Day. Ricky Harden just right there in front of them. lap traffic coming into play late here in tonight's Drive for the Cure 200, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. 30 laps, make it 29. Oh, and the 3 of Mike Massengill right in. Oh, ooh, big trouble there. That could have ended very bad for a lot of your top drivers at this late point in the race. Your top 4 lost a little bit of speed, a little bit of ground those last few laps, trying to make their way by the lap machine of Michael Massengill in the 3 machine, back being shown in the 18th position. Looks like things have all sorted themselves out on where everybody's going to finish. Brian Mescal Jr. still working on his machine, still going to try to get back out there and make a few laps. Oh, and Cole Day with a moment there coming off of turn number 2. I tell you what we're going to do now. Let's jump onto a little bit of different camera here. Let's go to the gyro on board with Troy Radford. Bit of a wiggle off of 4 that time by your second place runner, Ricky Arden. Just jumping around, giving you a couple different camera shots here as these drivers trying to get the job done. This is out of the right side of that 2 machine. We'll now go back to the 6 of Eric Blunt as he has been passed by Alan Westman. There you see Alan off in the distance. He's trying to make up some time on the field. So, a lot of drivers on a lot of different agendas. Your running order as they are right now looks a little something like that. There you see the drop down to 76 of Chuck Mobley having some issues. Eric Blount going to go by him without any trouble. Now Cole Day, Troy Radford. That battle has been taken care of. Put Radford back inside the final podium position into 3rd place, and he is setting his sights now on the 2 men in front of him, Ricky Harden and then Chris Medford. Medford does have a 1.5. That is right, a 1.5 second lead over Ricky Harden. Little over 2 seconds back to Troy Radford in his 20 laps. Enough time to get there. If we have a caution, oh, for sure. But if we stay green flag to the end of this thing, will it be enough time for Troy Radford to get up there and take that top spot away? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait to find out. Is Radford bringing Cole Day back up there with him to challenge Ricky Harden? So Ricky gonna have to deal with not just 1, but 2 drivers here in a minute. Gap not closing or gaining. Scratch that 0.3 of a second. Gained that last lap by Chris Medford over the 2 of Ricky Harden. And it looks like the 84 and the 49 are pretty much mirroring each other's laps. One will run slightly faster than the other, and then the other one will return the favor the next lap by. Those 2 drivers are the top 3, in the top 3 on track right now as far as timing. The 3 of Mike Massengill out there on the outside. Field going to make their way by him. No issues, no problems this time. Cole Day closing in on the 49's rear end. but he's going to have none of it. Bradford back across the line, and it looks like Ricky Harden has been able to open up that gap once again. And just like that, Mefford setting sail on the field. 43 laps led for him out there tonight. With only 15 laps, well, nobody's gonna lead as many laps as Radford. Radford has got 99 laps in the book. That's right, 99 bottles of laps on the wall. I don't know, I was trying to do it, but I messed it all up, so yeah. We'll just leave it alone. Troy Radford now closing back in on the 2 of Ricky Harden, your race sponsor for tonight's Drive for the Cure, presented by Sweet Southern Mess. 98 laps. 98 miles, not laps, I apologize. 98 miles is 200 laps around this .49 short track. This paper clip of a short track, very iconic and historic in the world of NASCAR. Great racing going on out there. Nighttime races beginning to happen at Martinsville Speedway, and I tell you what, I've got to get to one of them. I've been to it 3 or 4 times in the daytime. I want to see that thing lit up at night. I bet you it is a sight to see. A sight to see for this man up front is what he sees in front, and that is almost nothing. Only one driver off in the distance, about a half a straightaway in front of Chris Mefford. There you see, I believe that is the 8 of Kendall Levron. He is trying to soldier on and get as much out of tonight's race as he can. And Chris Mefford has to be mindful of the gap that he's got in front, as well as the gap behind him. 2.1 seconds back to your second place runner, Ricky Harden, as we have now got just 8 laps left to go. Not a lot of close battles out on track. Closest battle on track is still for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th position between Ricky Harden, Troy Radford, Jeff Hollingsworth, Tyler Hilton. Oh, and caution! That is going to bring this thing. Oh my goodness, looks like Cole Day may have been involved in this latest incident. We'll look back here on our Turn 3 replay. Oh, and another self-spin out here tonight at Martinsville Speedway. Looks like Cole just got a little loose on exit, tried to correct it, wasn't able to. Then around he went and into that inside wall. That's going to put the end of this race in a little bit of a predicament. And down onto pit road goes the 84 of Chris Mefford. He's going to give up the race lead with just 5 laps left to go. Oh my, on to pit road and in his pits. I do not know about that call right there. Very, very late in the race, and yes, we could have 3 green-white checkered attempts. It very well could happen, but I just do not believe that is going to be enough time for those tires to be meaningful. He's going to find himself lining up, I do believe, in 11th position, just outside of your top 10. So deep in the field on what may be your final restart here tonight. Ricky Harden, tonight's race sponsor, will restart the race in the race lead, have full control once the pace car hits pit road. So Gonna have to keep our eye on Ricky and see what his idea and thoughts are here for this final restart. Troy Radford and Jeff Hollingsworth both have fresher tires. Tyler Hilton has fresher tires as well. So Ricky gonna have to be up on top of that thing to get this job done. And once again, without you, Jags, I would continually look like an idiot every week. I mean, I'm going to do that regardless, but you help me not look as... well, you know what I mean. Pace car lights are off. Final restart, maybe. Will we go to the one green-white checkered attempt here in the RFC NextGen K&N Series? We'll wait and see. You'll have to find out just like I will. Pace car lights off. Gonna make that left-hand turn. Field in the hands of your race leader, Chris Medford. To the restart box. And away he goes. Good start by Medford. Radford with a good start on the outside. What's going to happen when they hit turn one? Down on the inside. Free and clear is Harden. Not Medford. I called him Medford, but Ricky Harden getting the job done coming around. And that is it. Race is over. Ricky Harden. Great job getting it done out there tonight, surviving a late race restart to walk away in victory lane. My goodness, what a great job by him and his crew. My goodness, my goodness. Ricky Harding, great job. Stick with us here. We're going to get things set and ready to go for your post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back after a quick little break. Maybe about a minute and a half, somewhere in that range. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Woo-wee. And we have finished tonight's Drive for the Cure 200 presented by Sweet Southern Mess. And your race winner for tonight, your race sponsor for tonight, Ricky Harden in the 2 machine, walking away with the race win. Unfortunately, Ricky having to go to the infield care center, get some IVs, a little bit under the weather, not able to get an interview right now. We'll catch up with him next week, though, at Thompson when we head down there to that track. Going to be a great night out there. We'll get with Ricky next week, though. Hope you get feeling better. Hope everything's all right. All right. Congratulations on a great race win. So that is going to now bring me to talk about our second place finisher. Maybe not talk about, but talk with the
Loose a couple times.
And sometimes I be messing stuff up. So let's see if we can't get in a quick word with Troy Radford here, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Dave. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, doing what I usually do, catching you guys off guard.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be a broadcast without it, huh, my man?
Hey, if it wasn't awkward, then it wouldn't be right.
Well, you're making a trend yourself this season. I don't know how many times this is I've talked to you after or during a race, but that's always a good thing, finding some TV time, some mic time. Walking away in second here today. Just tell me a little bit what went through your head after you kind of had that self-inflicted wound there spinning by yourself off of the corner.
You know, it was a really tough one. Of course, you know, this track's always been a really good one for me, and you know, I think me and Hollingsworth were going to be pretty dang even the entire time. But it was a self-inflicted wound, like you said. I didn't think I got in the gas any more than I had at any point there, but it just snapped on me all of a sudden. You know, lucky to not get in the wall or anything like that, but. Then, you know, 2 self-inflicted wounds with, you know, just getting in chain reaction stuff and having to do 2 EOLs after that. So very, very, very lucky to come out of here with the top 2.
Now, coming down to basically an unofficial green-white checkered there at the end, did you think you had enough with the fresher tires? Did you think you had enough to get by Ricky there at that last restart?
You know, I was hoping there's really not time to set up something, especially with the leader being able to control the start as much as they do. So I had one of my better restarts of the night, especially on the, you know, when you're starting second, had a decent restart, was able to be alongside him. Was really hoping, you know, once you get somebody on the bottom, it gets real slick down there. So I was really hoping that Ricky was going to get a little bit loose and that I'd be able to drive by him on the high side coming down the back straightaway. But you know, he did exactly what he needed to do. He kept a cool head. He did not over accelerate coming off the corner, and he was able to stick that. So, you know, could have always done something to, you know, move him, but I'm just not that kind of a driver. I'll take a second over dumping somebody for the win.
Well, man, great race for you out there. Led the most laps. You had the fastest lap, pole position, fastest in happy hour. The coveted prize eluded you tonight, walking away in second place. Still a great finish out there. But before we let you go, Troy, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
You know, big one, of course. Ricky Harden's kind of off and on with the series. He's got some other commitments, but, you know, really glad to see him out here tonight. And, of course, he's sponsoring the night with Sweet Southern Mess and, you know, bringing his calls on board. So, you know, really thankful for him doing that. Evidence-Based Mommy always on board. Of course, Lucky Finn Project, you know, Turn 3 Racing Network for doing everything you guys do. And, of course, Dave, I got to thank you, buddy. Thank you for being here. You're here every week. You do an awesome job. Absolutely.
User was moved out of your channel. Channel switched.
Yes, sir. I'm here. How you doing, bud? It was great. I had a lot of fun. Troy was hard to catch, and first I want to say congrats to Ricky. That was a great win, and it's a good field and long. I feel good to finish third, no incidents. A 200 lapper at Martinsville. You're right. It's nothing to shake your head at. I'm happy where I'm at. I would have liked to have won, of course, but still, it's a good race with these guys.
Now, walk me through, if you will, that last restart. Wasn't a green-white checker or an official one. That last restart, though, did you think you may have something to get by either Troy or Ricky there on those final 2 laps?
Well, I know Troy and I did the same and had the same wear on the tires, but it's, Ricky's got the gun, and all we had to do was 1 lap. And what I liked is we didn't all pile into one and wreck it. It was a good, clean finish. So, no, I was going to try whatever I could, but there was nowhere to go. I had Troy on the outside and Ricky doing what he could do on the bottom, and I don't know, skated right to third. Couldn't do anything. Tried to do stuff. I felt like I had the tires for it, but there was just nowhere to go.
All right, man. Well, once again, great job out there tonight, walking away in 3rd position. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Sure, like I said, first off, it looks like you're going to get an interview. Ricky, he's popped on here. That's cool. So congrats to him and Troy for 2nd place. Those guys that I raced with, Gordon and Eric and Chris, all those guys in the front, it was a lot of fun. And shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to my new granddaughter, McKenna May. She's a little over 6 weeks old. So shout out to her and the rest of my family and my boys at Old Guys Rule, Ron, Robert, James, and Charlie. That's my team. Love you guys. That's it, brother. Thanks for the great broadcast.
All right, there you have it. That was your 3rd place finisher here tonight, Jeff Hollingsworth. And it looks like we're going to get lucky here, and we're going to get in a few words with your race winner, Ricky Harden. You got a copy, bud? You got your ears on? Hey, Ricky, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
User was moved out of your channel.
Unfortunately, not going to be able to. Thought we had some things worked out where we could get a word in real quick with your race winner, Ricky Harden, but unfortunately that did not work out well for us, so nothing left to do but run through your finishing order. Walking away with the race win here tonight, your race sponsor, the driver of the 2 machine, Ricky Harden, walking away in 2nd, the 49 of Troy Radford, coming home in 3rd, Jeff Hollingsworth. 4th goes to the 82 of Tyler Hilton, while the 5th place runner, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. 6th place goes to the 6 of Eric Blount, and in 7th, the 20 of Brandon Medford. 8th spot goes to the 08 of David Smith Jr., 9th, the 17 of Alan Westman, while the 84 of Chris Medford excuse me, I do apologize. The 84 of Chris Medford rounds out your top 10. 11th spot goes to the 00 of Roy Hyde, while Damon the Unicorn Cox walks away in his 16 machine in the 12th spot. 13th goes to the 37 of Cole Day, the 44 of Adam Novak walking out of here tonight in 14th. 15th spot being scored 2 laps down, the 76 of Chuck Mobley in the 8 machine of Kendall Levron, slotting home in 16th. 17th spot goes to the 3 of Michael Massengill. In the 18th position, the 45 of Doug Wasaki. Jason Edmiston in his 71 machine coming home in 19th, and in 20th, the 77 of Lance Yancey. 21st position out here tonight, the 22 of Cody Terry, Brian Maskill Jr. in the 33 machine, walking out of here in 22nd. Tough break for him, being scored 136 laps down here at Martinsville. 23rd position goes to the 5 of Brandon Hartwell, and KD with a tough race out there in his 88 machine, slotted home in 24th, and in your 25th and final spot, Andreas Lambert in the 72, and in 26th, your actual final spot, sorry about that, the 47 of Ray Radford. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap from us here at Martinsville Speedway. So with that being said, thank you all for joining us. Join us again here tomorrow night for some more great racing action on Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, thank you for joining us. If you hadn't already, hit that thumbs up button. Let these drivers know you like what you see out there on track. Sometimes it gets chaotic, especially at a track like this. But nonetheless, we're glad to have you each and every week here for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series. And from myself, David Worrell, and everybody else at Turn 3 Racing Network, we'll see you again.
Struggle's real. So real.
5 a.m. comes early, Jack and Folgers in his cup. He wakes her up and lays her clothes out and packs her lunch. Gotta rush to catch the school bus, ponytails and toothbrush. Sometimes it seems it's too much, he waves goodbye. Then he sighs 12-hour days and barely getting by. Her mama working third shift and he hopes she ain't back getting high. On a slippery slope, slowly slipping to a pit, hanging off for dear life, losing grip, but he refused to quit.
I see the look in your eyes and I know how you feel.